Hi there, Dr. Brian here on Saturday night. It's the 31st, it's the last day of August, and tomorrow is the 1st of September, the first day of spring, and Father's Day in Australasia. So if you're a father, have a great day tomorrow. It's a wonderful calling, and I think that it's good that there's a focus on fatherhood. Because I think that men are often neglected in the current environment for their role in family. The father arguably has a different role. Men are much more likely to be part of child rearing. I think that men have always had a role. They probably took less of a part during the early part of the Industrial Revolution because they were more absent. They went out to work, whereas if you went back just one generation to farming, I think they were quite involved in parenting. They were very involved in tutoring in terms of jobs, and the family working labour unit was an integral part of survival, and so the fathers were definitely part of that role in looking after children as part of helping them be part of the family work unit. And the mothers would have done similar roles. There was actually less opposition, I'm sure. Not every relationship was probably blissful, but I believe the primary imperative would have been survival and working together to achieve that goal, because I don't think we probably appreciate from where we are in the 21st century how 200 years ago life was arguably more tenuous, and really survival was the pinnacle of most people's achievement. And today we are very blessed, many of us in the world, to live in a circumstance which is totally different. There's interesting when I'm looking at some of the groups that I'm involved with in terms of online learning at the moment. There's a generation of men who would be around 30. They really felt that when they got married, their role was to provide for their wife and the family. That immediately taking on that role of marriage, it changed their role in their perspective, and their role was to be the provider. And if they weren't able to do that, they felt actually very inadequate, and there was quite an emotional hit around that. And I'm not sure that that's totally recognised by society at large in the progressive West, where roles are sort of gender neutral, that anyone can do anything. But if men don't have a primary role, say, as provider, and women, you could say, are uniquely, genetically, physically adapted to childminding, especially under 5, and the kids are under 5, it's not to say that a man can't do it, but if you want to breastfeed to 18 months or 2 years, then there's a certain practicality that would make life easier if the mother is with the children for that to happen. Men provide and women distribute. That's actually a Jordan Peterson statement, and I think it's quite interesting because I have a feeling that it's basically how societies work, that men are part of the provider group and women are the distributors. So even now you do see women more involved in roles that are sort of distributing. They are ensuring that everyone gets a slice of the pie, and men are often involved in the producing the pie. As said, those are generalities, and they are not exclusive. So where does it leave you in your health? Where does it leave you in your life? Health is super three-dimensional, and there's no doubt that if you're happy in your role and you're feeling fulfilled, you will enjoy better health. You'll have much better mental health, you make better choices. And the choices, there's that awful spiral where when you're feeling depressed, your choices around food and activity are often particularly unhelpful. So you won't feel like exercising and you'll probably eat foods that are not healthy, which then puts you in a spiral of feeling less like doing anything. Excuse me. So, in a celebration for men and fatherhood, I would just I'm very admiring of men who take on that role and step up to providing and leading the household. And I think that it's actually a role that men may feel diffident about stepping into because now it might be seen as domineering or patriarchal or some negative. Yet I think that I do see a lot of women frustrated that the men aren't able to step forward, so they become they take that role on because they're all about survival and survival of the tribe. But I do think that if a man's stepping into his role, he's actually there providing security and in a chivalrous way, not in any way demeaning or belittling, or in any way actually not nurturing and advocating, fighting and protecting. I think that is where a chivalrous gentleman actually stands. They are very protective and they're very respectful, and they actually will put their life on the line, which is what men do. Men lay their lives down for their community and their kin, and that's often not seen as a valuable something. Yet through the ages it's been the defining element often of the man is that he would lay his life down for his family. So all those men out there, all more goodness to you, more luck to you. I admire what you do, and we're not all perfect, but on balance most men are working hard to provide for their tribe and give them the best chance they can. So have a great day tomorrow on Father's Day, and I trust that you are appropriately appreciated by those around you. All the best.